online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the AFTERBUZZ TV Once Upon a Time After Show, Season 5, Episode 11, Swan Song. I'm Tiona Hobson, excited to be back. A little sad about some things that happened in tonight's episode. Keetin, stop doing that because you're going to make me cry all over again.
I'm sorry. There's a couple of reasons I'm upset about this moment. I feel you. Hi, guys. I'm back. I'm Keetin Marchi. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Keetin Marchi. It's good to be back.
And across the table,
and that's Ella.
And this is Ella. She'll be joining us tonight as well. And across the table, we have...
Hi guys, I'm Roxy Stryer. You can find me everywhere at Roxy Stryer, and I'm really excited to break down tonight's episode.
Hi everyone, I'm Marisa Serafini. You can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV.
Okay, so it's the mid-season finale, and a lot of things happen. A lot of emotions are everywhere right now. But what positive things do you guys have? What did you guys like about tonight's episode?
I like that we got so much Hook.
Same.
I like that we have good Emma back because I like the red jacket better than the other jacket. And I like that... I'm excited that we're going to the underworld.
Yeah, that's going to be really fun. We've been wanting that for a while.
Yeah.
Roxy, Marissa?
You know how long I've been wanting Underworld. Sorry, I totally stepped on you there, but...
You're fine, go ahead.
No, that's the one main good takeaway I could take from this episode. And also, Regina was so badass.
Oh, yes.
She
Yeah,
was.
Regina in Underworld.
And her boobs looked amazing as the Dark One, or
Fantastic.
when she was evil.
Oh my god, I loved having, that was another thing, having evil Regina back a little bit. Like, I love who Regina is now, but I loved evil Regina, so whenever we get little tidbits of her, I get excited.
I liked going back and seeing Killian as a kid. Because I love him as a character. I loved watching Zelena fly out the window.
Amazing.
I loved how right I was about the majority of my predictions of how we were going to get where we were going. That was a little satisfying. I also didn't like that, but I saw that coming with gold so freaking far away. And I do love all the hooker stuff, you know, hookers for life. So there's some really cool moments.
There's a lot of cool moments. Speaking of Hook, who's clearly my favorite and a lot of people's here favorite too.
Hooker for life.
Let's start with him, and we get more tidbits into his past tonight, which is really fun because we've known that we were gonna see like the story of his father. So it's,
How hot is his dad, though?
I mean,
Like,
clearly good looks around
Apple
that family.
does not fall from
I loved his voice.
Yeah. Yes.
Amazing.
Read stories to me.
Seriously.
Were you guys surprised by how, the story kind of goes? Because we see them on the ship together, and he's kind of consoling Killian and, being a really great dad and telling his son, don't be afraid, I am here, I'll always protect you. And then Killian wakes up the next day, and his dad sold him to an old sailor. Servitude.
What an
At
a-hole.
least he sold them with his brother,
So he had a friend.
I was like, really, Roxy?
Completely kidding. So messed up. Just gives us one more piece of information of why Killian is the way he is. And I think that this made a lot of sense. And it was devastating to watch because I was with UT. I'm sitting there like, wow, he had some really good parenting. Like, that was really strong. And then all of a sudden, ripped from us.
He just seemed like such a great dad. Like the kind of dad that, you don't expect for Hook to have had because he seemed very involved in his child's life and there for him. And then all of a sudden, boom, he's out the door because, at the next port, the cops are waiting for him, essentially.
I kind of just wanted him to say that. Like, give him the advice and then say, Daddy has to leave you now, or something like that.
Something.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's actually good that they set up such a male, strong figure in Hook's life when he was younger to prove to him when Hook got older, do not be this kind of man.
Yes. And
that was cool too. The storyline, the through line of this. What man do you want to be when you grow up? Who do you want to be? I like that, and I like seeing that come full circle. I felt like I feel like sometimes the flashbacks don't necessarily have that much to do with what's going on in current day. It doesn't translate to me. But tonight there was a very full circle feeling by the end. What kind of man do you want to be? What kind of man do you want to be? And then that did come all the way around.
yeah.
Yeah, and so rare is it to be put in the same position twice in your life to make a different choice the second time around.
Because we always say, you need to learn from your mistakes. And this time he actually got a chance to prove that can be true. But we also learned that in the past, when Regina originally recruited Hook to kill Cora for her, she had to do a little extra digging to make sure that there's no weaknesses for him, which meant that he learns that his dad is actually alive still, which this is centuries later.
Which is weird. So he was under a sleeping curse, too. And, like, the entire time that whole scene was going on, we kept being like, who's his mom? Who's his mom?
Yeah,
Who's
I thought
his
there was
mom?
going to be a big reveal about who Hook's mom was, but it's just, not just a nurse, but it was a nurse who was not named.
Definitely coming back.
I would absolutely agree with you.
And also, younger, not to skip too far ahead, younger Liam also coming back.
Yeah.
Liam.
Where the heck is he?
Liam 2.0?
Yeah, Liam
Yeah,
2.0.
what happened to him in the rest of his life after Hook killed his father? Yeah, that happened.
Is he alive? I think he's alive.
I think he's absolutely alive. I just wonder where he is.
We wouldn't have even introduced him if he wasn't alive.
I bet you we're going to get some Liam 1.02 when we visit the underworld, because all the people who have died are there. So we might get Liam 1.0 and 2.0 both in the afterworld. Maybe that's how we'll get him.
Leo 2 is dead.
I don't know. He could be. I don't want him to be dead, but he could be, and that could be kind of where we see him both.
I hate hearing that when we go to the underworld, because I know we'll get there, but guys, we're not freaking going anywhere. We're staying at Granny's.
They're saying that the alternate universe of where
Storybrooke Underworld. I know, Tia.
We'll get
I know.
there. We will definitely
Storybrooke
get there.
is, you're living in your own hell, and all these people caused hell in Storybrooke, so now they have to live there in their own personal hells. But so Hook has this he starts off with hearing that his father was in the sleeping curse, and how he woke up because of True Love's kiss, because he heard this nurse talking to him, and they fell in love, and they got married. He later finds out that they had another son. But in this time, Hook feels something for his dad, and is like, you know what? You are changed. I lost my love too because of what I'm trying to get revenge for. So I'm going to spare your life and actually let you live, but I have to hide you away somewhere.
It's interesting how this has always been a soft spot for Hook, since since being in love has changed him so much. That's something that he can relate to, and I question this father in more than one way. I wonder, why did he name his son Liam? Is he possibly making this all up about falling in love? Is this actually maybe his brother Liam, like, brought back, or in a different way? Why would he name it Liam and not Killian? Like, there are just so many questions about the dad in this scenario.
And he said that he named him Liam to honor both of his sons.
Which makes
no sense,
sense.
because his name, unless his name is Liam Killian, I don't see you honoring two sons there with a name.
Yeah.
Liam was the favorite.
Maybe.
I would
We didn't
be
get to
super
see that.
offended. I would be super offended by that. If I thought that I left, my parents had another kid, I came back and it was me and my sister, they named it my sister's name. I know that seems like a weird thing to be offended about, and that seems selfish, but I would be offended.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He had every right to be upset.
Yeah, I agree.
Every right.
Upset enough to kill his dad?
Yes.
Marissa, no hesitation, just yes. That is
fast,
kill you
yeah.
worthy father.
But no, this is what seemed really weird, how quickly he, like, switched to kill his father. Like, and they're like, I'm gonna show you the type of man that I choose to be. I'm like, that's not making you a better man by killing your, like, that didn't make sense to me. That didn't connect to me of his reasoning in his head to end up killing his father.
I completely agree. He went from wanting to get his dad and his dad's son out of town to seeing that the son was named Liam and murdering the dad.
Yeah.
Maybe saying, you know what, I can't help you anymore, or whatever it is, but that was a really weird, harsh, and rash decision.
Right, and what exact point in this timeline of Hook's life is this taking place? Is this before he went, like, truly dark and just, like, killing people because he's a pirate and he had his dark ways? Or when is this the first kill that he's done that set him off on this dark path?
That's interesting.
There was no time slate to be like, hey, so many years ago.
Did he kill Liam? What happened after?
What happened after Liam? And basically, what Hook did is set his.
Maybe
now
that's what Regina is gonna say.
Right.
Maybe he did kill Liam, the younger boy. Maybe that's
but
what he was gonna.
Ultimately, he set his half brother up to live a life just like he did,
Without his father.
a father.
Yeah.
So you're contributing to this cycle instead of helping to break it.
And he was emotional.
He was very emotional.
He killed without thinking.
But I did love what his father said because, I mean, like Roxy said, we saw him putting the little Liam to sleep, saying essentially the same thing he had said to Killian the night before he disappeared. And as he's dying, he says, remember that we're all braver than we think if you look deep enough. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was very instrumental in what we see later on happening. It's like you really have to dig deep and through the darkness to see how brave you are. And just as a parent, I think that it brings something out of you.
It was weird because his dad, every scene you saw his dad in, he seemed like such a stand-up guy. And I was just like going out, I have to go off on these other people's words that he's like not a good dude. Like, who's to say he really did trade his sons for a rowboat and that, like, that old man didn't just, like, maybe turn him in so that he could, get some money and then he kept the sons as slaves. I don't know.
I did think that at first.
I thought that at first, too. I thought when Killian finally confronted him, I felt like he was going to be like, son, that's not what happened. But instead he was like,
Maybe I got caught the next day.
And I just need to understand why he was put in a sleeping curse.
Well, in the chat, Hero Fit says, I felt like the dad's entire sleeping curse story was total bull and then did the poop emoji.
Oh,
I love the poop
it
emoji.
just seems a little convenient that a sleeping curse happened to you and why you, of all people, when you were actually wanted for like being a thief.
Right. I think it's just really sad that they're still using that Disney trope, like, hey, this happened, accept it.
Yeah.
And this
You mean the dead parent trope?
No, just the sleeping curse, like, hey, this happened, so many years have passed, and now we're here in this timeline.
Right. Like, how are you still alive? Sleeping curse, no biggie.
Yeah.
It was a curse.
Yeah.
It's
great for the aging.
Curse for you, curse for me, funny.
What's sad about what we're talking about is that when I first saw him and when Hook was an adult, I noticed that he hadn't aged, but in my mind, it didn't even matter. I didn't even connect the dots that, hey, he found his dad, but he's not aged any. And then when they said, oh, I've been in a sleeping curse for centuries or whatever, I was like, oh, yeah, I guess time has gone by.
Just a quick way to explain it.
Yeah, just a quick, easy out. And speaking of outs, guess who's out of Storybrooke for good, or at least for now?
Where's Zelena?
Baselina.
Roxy,
over the rainbow.
Happy. So incredibly happy.
Enjoy Oz, witch.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
like
she just should have said it. It was like, come on. It was like, I get it's ABC and it's Disney, but you're
you
allowed
can say
one.
bitch that night, like that
Oh,
late
it
at
would have
night,
been
right?
so great.
not the 8 o'clock hour on ABC. On Sunday nights.
I would have said it at 9 o'clock hour for AFTERBUZZ. So there you go.
Here's the deal with this. I liked it. I like that she's gone, but it was like one too many homages to what's going on. We had the green tornado. We had that she was going to Oz. She's a witch. We had the over
baby
the rainbow
names.
line. We had all of that. It was too many things. It was like, I get what you're referencing. I hear you.
Like, stop smacking me in the face with it. I know
Yeah.
The Wiz was just on TV like 2 days ago. I don't need
get
it.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm just happy that they went with those quick outs to be like, yep, bye, girl.
But a lot of people in the chat are saying how
Bye,
it
Felicia.
seems a little too easy to just get rid of her now. And did we get rid of her now out of convenience? Or
Yes, absolutely. I think it's great that, as much as I would have loved Zelena to actually be killed, but the fact that like they just poofed her to another world so she doesn't interfere with their big plans near the end of the episode, I was like, I accept that.
But it's Zelena. She's
rid
going to
of
find a
Zelena.
way to come back. She has a child here. It's
I like
separating
her.
her mother from her baby. She's not going to stop until she gets back. If you want to finish her, you should have let Emma go through with her plan
But
to
Emma was
put the darkness in her
preoccupied.
and kill
Kill
her.
her.
Emma was preoccupied.
No,
It's
that's
good
the
that
only way.
Regina
I wish they
Yes.
would have
Rid of her
done
for
that. That
good.
would have like been like the storyline I would have appreciated, and then they could have gone on to another storyline and a better storyline.
No, it's good that Regina didn't kill anyone.
I don't feel like Pistachio is a good name for a kid.
I was gonna name my first child Pistachio.
I mean, like, you can't even say
Really?
it. You can't
Would
name your
it-
kid
My
Pistachio.
dog's name is Pistachio.
Would that make the child's name Pistachio of Locksley?
Oh, God.
Because Robin Hood is her father and he's Robin of Locksley.
Stop right there.
No?
No.
Okay.
No.
Right.
Just no.
Pistachio.
What did I say again with being right? What did I say about frickin' trusting her with the baby? She's like, ha, you've given me some parent privileges. Now I'm taking the child and leaving. Like, yeah.
Well, to her defense, they were the ones leaving.
Yeah, it was like, you guys
they-
are gonna be gone.
It was
anyways.
mostly like, oh, you guys are going to be gone, so I have to take care of my child now. How convenient will that be? Her plan was, it was big and bold, but you know what? I was happy that Regina
She's
was
gone.
able to find a way to get rid of her. And can someone please remind me what the wand that lights up?
You Hermione Granger's wand?
Yes, that one.
Oh, the wand chooses the wizard.
No, that was
That was
Merlin's
am-
wand,
That
wasn't
was
it?
amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And now she believes in herself enough that it
And the
will work.
town believes in her, for
Right.
she has the power to conjure up a green tornado and send that bitch flying.
P.S. Everyone in the chat believes that Pistachio actually is a great name for a dog, just not for a child. So
Okay.
they're with you now.
Okay, well,
Just saying.
Yeah.
my next dog.
Yeah, not for human, because that's kind of mean.
Yeah.
Ella, your brother's name shall be Pistachio.
Pistachio. Okay, so bye, Zelena. Now let's get into the real nitty gritty of this episode.
I'm so excited to see how you do this, T.
Oh my gosh.
Walk us through this.
I don't even know how to walk us through this. Okay, so the dark ones are here, and they're kind of cornering everyone.
Not
and
kinda, they are.
Yeah, they corner everyone separately, and by everyone I mean our main bitches.
Like the Death Eaters came to the Quidditch World Cup, and that was Storybrooke, and they're just walking through people.
And they're just walking through people and giving everyone marks, which means that, they all have to switch places. So they mark everyone, and Rumpelstiltskin is like, hey guys, just accept fate. This is over. There's no fighting it. There's no way to battle this. We've lost this fight already. Enjoy the time with your loved
we
ones.
should have
What?
figured it out then. That's when we should have smelt a rat.
I don't think it was
really.
then
No.
that we should have figured it out.
He says that, drops mic, and walks away. Where are you going, Rumple?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
We
Who
all
do
said
you
that.
have? Like, what
No
do you-
one.
Oh,
Belle
okay.
left your ass.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, in fairness,
That was
he
so
told.
black. It just came out. I'm sorry.
They did say the dark
wasn't-
Tiana wasn't
Yeah,
the
the
dark
dark
one
Tiana
tonight.
came
It
out.
had a lot of attitude, though, so it needed a snap.
Yeah.
Okay, but in fairness, Rumple told Belle to leave. It's like, hey, here's a potion, cross the line, you'll be safe.
Explore
And
the
then he
world,
left.
adventures.
And we knew she was gonna come back.
I mean, she always comes
I
back.
was like, no way she's gonna cross that line.
They always come back. But he basically is like, hey guys, there's no use fighting this. Just accept your fate and move on. And they kind of try to. Everyone is like, okay, we're just gonna figure out, Snow and Charming are like, we gotta figure out who's gonna take care of Neil while we're away. Regina and
I love that, too. It's not like, by the way, Emma, would you do this? Emma's like, oh, Neil's going to be all alone. They're like, no, he won't. You're taking care of him.
yeah.
Hello, Emma.
It's like, duh, you're the big sister. You're still gonna be here, even though you're half of a dark one or something. You're not dark, so
I
it
do
still
agree
works.
with Emma's argument though with Mary Margaret a little bit. / you're Snow White. You're literally hope runs in your blood, and Mary Margaret's like, I'm out. Let's go have dinner at Granny's.
But everyone's kind of trying to close the door and figure things out for themselves and move and accept their fate. But except for Emma, because Emma, even though she's the dark one, she still has that good Emma in her, and she's really trying to right the wrong. She feels like this is her fault because she's the one who created Killian in the first place. And I don't know why I keep calling him Killian.
I've been doing that tonight, too. Because we went back to his past where he was killing. I can't get behind this. I can't get behind everybody still being mad at Emma and Emma needing to atone for her sins or whatever it is. She didn't do anything wrong. Period. I don't get it. She saved Hook's life. She did the only thing she could do. I'm sick of everybody being mad at her and her beating herself up. You did the best thing you could, and you fought off this darkness better than anybody else. You're still the savior.
You're still the savior. Someone tweeted me this
Drop
meme.
the mic, Roxy.
Yeah, drop
Drop
the mic,
the
Roxy.
mic, Roxy.
James Jordan actually tweeted us earlier this meme, and it's Snow, Emma, and Regina. It says, "Hi, Mom and Regina. You can't judge me, because unlike y'all, I haven't killed anyone." Which is true. And, like, I think a lot of people forget, even though she is the Dark One, she hasn't killed anyone. She's done some messed up crap.
Emma?
Yeah.
She pushed Cruella off of a cliff.
I mean, but,
Man,
like,
it's Cruella.
no one, like, innocent and, like, cool, you know? Like, Cruella deserved it.
Okay, but in fairness, like, Snow killed Cora, and she wasn't innocent either.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Like, Snow has maliciously killed someone, knowingly, like, plotted out a way to kill someone, and that's why her
But in
heart is
fairness,
dark.
Emma killed someone too.
Everybody in the
That was
chat's
more like-
agreeing with Marissa on this
All right,
Cruella thing.
probably that was more like manslaughter, but that's still a death.
Let's take this to court.
Let's take it to court. It's manslaughter. It's not murder one. We're cool. I don't know. Is murder one worse? Okay.
Oh my God, Marissa.
I love Marissa. So Emma's plan is now she goes to Regina and is like, "Hey, Regina, remember that promise you made me in Camelot? How you'll do anything to get rid of the darkness if it gets out of control," and makes Regina agree to basically kill her. So they go to Rumple to get the Excalibur so that they can do their plan. And this is when I got suspicious of Rumpelstiltskin, because he just hands over Excalibur, and Emma even says, "What, you don't want to make a deal?"
See,
And he goes, "No, you're the bravest person. I know you deserve this, Miss Swan. You're so amazing." And I was like,
you know, but this is what kind of makes me mad about the whole Rumple arc, is that we did just get this great Rumple arc this season of, like, he came back,
redemption.
he redeemed himself as a hero. He still lost Belle, but he came to peace with it, you know. And I was like, yes, this is a good character now. We've seen an arc. You can probably kill him now, and it's okay. No, now he's back to the old frickin' Rumple who he was, and it's annoying.
And to add to this,
That's what the chat rooms are saying.
That's why I say Regina is actually worth cheering for, because she's been through all of these situations and she's come out on top. She's redeemed herself. Where Gold is always put in these situations,
He's like a
and then
yo-yo
he
dieter.
reverts back to darkness. So who's still good? Regina is.
I completely
Gold's
agree. I agree with both of you. I am so bitter about what they're doing with Gold's storyline. How on earth are we supposed to care about this character anymore? How are we supposed to think, oh yes, he can still be good, or oh, I'm rooting for him and Belle. I'm done. I'm done with him. No matter what we do from this point forward, there is no redemption for me. He's gone back too many times. I don't trust him, and I never will. So this show has kind of shot themselves in the foot, in my opinion, with his character, unless they just keep him bad forever now. Because if they try to make him a good guy again, we're not going to follow them. I don't think.
It's so true, because, you know, fool me once, shame on me. But, like, fool us 10 times now, it's like, okay, we're done.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you guys on that note, because like you said, it's just too much back and forth, and the theme of the show too is, you know, heroes or villains can become heroes and looking for the redemptive quality. But I think that what the show realized that was missing was that ultimate villain who's always there, and Gold needs to stay as that evil character, because we couldn't keep Emma as the dark one for the whole season. No one wants to see her being dark, even though I was like totally down to have Emma be the dark one for like the whole season and see how that carried out. But, you know, they had to end it now, and now we needed someone else to fill that big bad, and Rumple will be the resounding evil influence of the show.
I get that, because the only time we've seen evil Rumple is in Emma and Hook's head. Just as a voice, not as an actual character. It's just a being that was there, only so the fans can get that evil Rumple again.
It's the same reason we do flashbacks for Regina, so we can see
so
Evil
we can
Queen.
see Evil Queen, exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, I agree, Tiona, that we have to have that one villain so we can actually keep watching them every week.
Sorry, I thought Roxy was going to say anything the way she kind of turned her head at me.
No, I'm just frustrated. I'm frustrated because the parts of the show that I love, that was one of them. At some point, I wanted Rumple to be really good. I was all along this journey, and I wanted him with Belle. And now, the fact that Belle does come, well, we'll talk about what Belle comes running back, but I'm like, this poor thing. I want her to leave. I want her gone. I almost don't even want her on the show just so she can get out of town.
And she's gonna have her heart broken again. We just saw last episode. You broke my heart one too many times, and now it's gonna get broken again.
That girl should have just gone out of town. Someone needs to make her go out of town and like erase her memories so that she can like have a happy life.
Yeah, she should have actually left.
So after Emma gets the Excalibur from Gold, she's as she's going around doing stuff, Killian and Nimue are lurking in the streets and know what she's up to. So Killian goes to her house to get the sword from her. And they have an exchange here where she's like, look, for Emma especially, she's already told everyone, I created him, but the person I love died back in Camelot. So whatever it takes, we have to kill him. If that's what it takes, we're going to kill him.
What did you think of that moment tonight, though, where he says, I owed you one. I owe you one. Did you believe him, or did you think he was really doing this for the ulterior motives of bringing all the Dark Ones back, or do you think that he was trying to save her?
No, I don't think so whatsoever, because when
You don't think
he was
part?
doing the favorite of holding on to the Excalibur, that's not a favor. He was also playing you at the same time. No way was a favor earned.
I do think that in some ways he is thinking, okay, I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't be this free of like my darkness and stuff if you hadn't have done what you did to me. So in one respect, he does owe her. But I'm just confused over what his plan is to get his revenge, because his revenge is to be on Rumple, not on Emma. But the only person truly affected to the deepest core from his plan of sending everyone to the underworld is Emma.
Yeah, that's and when Roxy brought that up when we were watching the episode, or you or Roxy, somebody like had said that, and I was like, yeah, none of this is making sense to me right now. You're exactly right, because Rumple is kind of just like this old man cowering in the corner, and it's like, Hook, everything you're doing, you're hurting Emma, and you're not getting your revenge. I completely agree with you. I don't want to reiterate everything, but yes.
What would have made it make sense is if he had looked at her and said, I wanted revenge on Rumple in my previous life, but you're the one who did this to me, therefore I need revenge on you. But I don't feel like that's what he said, which is why it was confusing that Emma was getting the short end of the stick from this. I think that this also was going to negatively affect Rumple, but it just was weird. He's obviously not thinking straight, and I don't really know what the transition was for him. For how we saw how he ended this episode, it kind of was very abrupt for me. He stuck to his guns this whole time and was like, "Screw everybody! I'm gonna be the Dark One." And then Regina flipped the switch.
Regina did flip the switch by reminding him of their past, what they had promised never to talk about again, which was him killing his father, and like that whole backstory that we saw tonight, which does finally kind of get
Revealed
through to him at the end of it all, as Nimue is choking Emma and she's about to die, as everyone else is about to get in.
That was like Darth Vader choke.
Major
extreme.
Darth Vader choke. And Hook pulled out some Force choke.
Yo, can we talk about the fact that there
a
have been a lot of Star Wars references this season?
Well,
No, the fact that Hook choked Regina now, I was like, oh hell no, that ain't happening. No.
And Regina was like, bitch, please.
Like, you're gonna kill Regina after she's trying to knock some sense into you, really, Hook?
We all have some serious attitude issues tonight. Like,
I feel like I've been
sassy.
pretty good, and you guys are the ones with the attitude.
Maybe. Just
No.
No.
Okay.
I feel
will
like
pop up
everybody in
too.
the chat is pretty tooty too. So
Yeah.
I think it's just a tooty night.
I think
all
we're just
together.
all, there's so many feels. I think everyone needs to take a moment right now and just take a deep inhale.
Everyone together.
Through your nose and release it through your mouth.
In with the butterflies, out
Yes.
with the bees.
We're all just going to take a moment to just let it all out, and we're good. Okay.
How are you not supposed to be upset, though? I'm sorry.
It's a winter finale, so
March
they want
6th
feelings.
March 6th is when we're coming
What?
back.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what to do with that.
Yeah, neither do I.
Well, I wouldn't even live in Los Angeles in March 6th, for all I know.
Like, we're
what is-
on Mars at that point. For sure.
They'll be iPhone 10. Like,
You've gone to,
10 will be out.
and you've gone to the underworld. We've all moved there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hanging out.
I'm
Selfies
just,
from
that's
the
just where I'm
underworld.
going to go right now, because I want to go hang out with Hook. Because he makes the ultimate sacrifice when he finally gets some sense knocked into him. And he turns the sword onto all the Dark Ones, takes all the darkness from them, and turns to Emma and is like, you have to kill me. it has to be me. And he tells her, let me die a hero because that's how I want you to remember me.
Okay,
Tearing up again.
I feel you, but before we tear up, Marissa, can you go on with your Buffy moment for a sec? 'Cause you were...
Sorry, I just had to get that out before because Marissa's going to do her Buffy moment, and I didn't watch Buffy, so I did not see the storyline coming.
Give us that hater
Go,
rate.
Marissa.
Give us that hater rate,
Okay,
Marissa.
I'll try to be as calm and collected as possible. This was so Buffy written all over. I talked about it last episode. There is a scene where Angel and Buffy...
Spoiler alert if you ever want to watch Buffy the
No,
Vampire
you should have listened to
Slayer.
last week's episode.
We said
Buffy
it-
has
it's
to kill
years
Angel
old.
with a sword, no less. Stab Angel, close the portal, save the world. Exact same thing. And you know what they did? Buffy kissed Angel and then stabbed him. Same thing tonight. Emma kissed Hook and stabbed him. And boom, Hook is dead.
Hook's gonna get his
Sword
own
gets
show.
disintegrated. It was all the same emotional beats. And I was like, that's not original. I should be feeling something, but I already saw this 17 years ago.
Hey guys, I mean, it's also kind of loosely based on Pirates of the Caribbean if we're going to get really down into it, you know? Like, there's a lot of references from there. I just think that there's things like this that happen when you're working in a world of supernaturalness that similar themes are going to come through, and it's not necessarily a ripoff of it.
Okay, Mom.
And it's just, you know, that's where the story naturally progresses. Like the Vampire Diaries originals, like we've all had stuff with portals needing to close and someone having to...
Right.
I just think it's a very...
You guys
It's a very
awesome.
big theme
Just
that
say
could be applied to many different situations.
Here's the deal. Here's what smart people do. They see what have worked on other shows and they borrow or steal it. That makes sense. And if this worked on Buffy, I understand why they tried to put it over here. However, I feel like they could have put some sort of unique twist on it that they didn't do.
Yes.
So that was why, for
Preach.
me, it was a little bit frustrating. But at the same time, I feel like this was catering towards me specifically. This moment should have affected me more than it affects people that aren't huge fans of Emma and of Hook. I love them. This is like the main reason I watched the show. And I felt nothing. Zero in this
Nothing.
moment. And that was a bummer.
Nothing.
Because essentially this is Hook's death scene. This is his swan song.
I
Yep.
mean, I was in tears, so I felt everything.
I mean, I felt a little bad. I'm like a middleman, I feel like, of you guys, because I felt like we knew this was gonna happen. Like this was such an obvious result of what we were gonna get at the end of this episode. I almost was able to prepare myself a little bit. I'm still really devastated, like Hooker for life, like super upset.
Yeah.
Like if I think about it too hard, I will cry. But I agree with you, Roxy. That moment, meh.
Yeah. What I wanted Emma to do was to take the sword and to stab herself.
Yes,
But
I wanted that so bad.
I wanted that, but as SSB Melly99 says in the chat, if Emma stabbed herself, wouldn't Hook still die from his Excalibur wound?
Yeah.
So then that kind of negates that.
I think it's like you have to take the darkness force out of it first and then put it into one, like consolidate it and then kill it.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you guys are saying, since you guys are all fans of Buffy and stuff, but I still felt like this whole moment between Hook and Emma, and the fact that she had to, you know, be the one to kill him, and she's already lost Neil, and she, you know, she just always is losing people, and that's something that we've talked about on this panel before, how Emma just, everyone she loves, something ends up happening, and they die, and usually she's around when it happens.
This is the thing. You shouldn't date Emma Swan. You will most likely
She is
die.
kind of cursed with the love of
But
life.
Maybe
if
she
you do
destined to
die,
be a
she might
spinster.
come after you.
Only if you're worth it, though.
She'll,
True.
Which, I mean, she's going after Hook. She didn't go after some other people. But yeah, so that's that. Sorry.
That's true. Kind of salted to...
Yeah, kind of an insult to Neil for
yeah.
people who were lovers of them together.
I was
But
never really a big fan
yeah,
of Neil.
people like me who always liked her better with Hook.
Yeah,
It's
Hooker for love.
it makes sense. So then
I wonder if she's gonna run into Neil in the underworld.
I don't think Neil would be
Probably
in the
not.
underworld because I feel like the underworld is
I
for
don't
the
think he's
evil people,
evil.
and
Yeah.
Neil wasn't evil.
Right, we have to assume not every person who's died has gone to the underworld.
Yeah, I'm figuring
Yeah, I don't
it's
know
like,
if this is a heaven and hell type of situation. I don't know if this is like a underworld in ancient like Roman or Greek mythology where everybody goes to the underworld.
That's true.
So that's what I'm wondering. Like, what are they going to play in this game? And are we going to see Hercules, Hades, and all? I mean, we have to see Hades because it's the underworld, and we even have the same.
We have to see Hercules and Meg, of course.
Yeah, no, we have to see him. But we
But
have
it's just-
Karen.
Yeah.
Karen, she's here.
No, it's just we know in the stories because of news and gossip and whatnot that
Yeah.
the producers have said and the creators have said that they're bringing back evil villains that we've already seen been killed.
and they list a whole list of them already, and I
Yes.
did
Saw
not see.
Regina's mom.
That's not a
Yeah.
spoiler.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not a spoiler, but I have not seen Neil's name in it, so they could be saving that for a surprise for everyone instead of releasing it. But let's get into some Rumple and Belle stuff that's going on. We've kind of touched on this already, so we know that Rumple gives Belle the cuff to tell her to go away and save herself, and he doesn't tell her why. He tells her everything's fine, and she believes him because she's gullible.
Because she's a fool.
And this,
Gullible.
This makes me so angry. They did this in Doctor Who. They give you this female character that is literally presented to you as very, very intelligent, and then they have them make the dumbest decisions. Martha in Doctor Who does the same thing, and that's what makes me so frustrated with Belle. She is supposed to be the smartest princess. She's the bookworm. She's the one that like can figure it out like the hard way, and then they have her do stupid stuff like this.
But I mean, you can be smart, book smart, and dumb street smart.
Yeah, and not
and
street
in
smart.
love and in life, because everything she's learning, she's reading in books and fairy tales and how it's supposed to go. So I give her a little bit of slack just because I don't think she has a lot of life experience.
I agree with both of you, and it's incredibly frustrating. It's also relatively realistic. Like,
Yes.
I have friends like this where it's like, you are brilliant. Why are you still with this dude? Like, what are you doing? So I actually find this to be realistic, but doesn't mean I like it.
Well, now she's probably knocked up by the dark one. So what's the half dark one baby gonna be like, guys?
Dark baby.
Yeah, people
Dark
talk
baby.
about them writing in her pregnancy. It's
Even more emotional toll because she's gonna find out that Rumple's the dark one again,
Yeah. So that's
and then
dark.
she's gonna
seed.
have her heart broken again.
And I don't think this show needs any
Also-
more babies.
Also,
No, we don't.
We don't need any
hold
more.
on. This is what was crazy too.
I hate you.
Emma's like, by the way, Hook. Sorry, not Hook. By the way, Rumple, do this for me, or I'll tell Belle what you've done. So you're telling me that none of them are gonna tell Belle?
Yeah, because they all know now.
That they all know. They're just gonna let Belle stay chilling with him.
You guys are crappy friends.
But
To their
in
defense-
fact, they're going to Underworld, so it's not like they're in a position to tell Belle.
And
Are they
he's
all
with
went on the
them.
world?
Yeah, they all
they all
walked
walked in
onto
the water.
into the water, and he went with them. So he's not there to be with Belle. So maybe she's waiting till they get back to tell her. But Belle is gonna wake up and think she just had a one night stand because she wakes up the next day and the dude's just gone. she's like, wait,
So
did he
where's
leave
my
a
baby
number?
daddy?
Like, where is he?
You can't just like not tell her that though.
Yeah.
By the way, you just slept with the dark one. He's back.
I know,
Yeah.
and then peace out. And they didn't even tell her that they're all leaving. So Belle's just gonna be like, where'd they go? Where'd they go?
I feel like that's what
Anybody?
a lot of the town
Bueller?
just
Hello? Somebody?
So they're all going down to the underworld, but I mean, I want to talk about how Rumple kind of reveals his plan to Emma, or what he did. It's like, yeah, so you came to me and asked for Excalibur, and I took it as an opportunity to sprinkle some magic on it and make it a conduit. So so Hook never actually died to free everyone from the darkness. Now I have all of the darkness in me. My question is, Rumpelstiltskin the character that we knew from the storybook past, I guess, or from the Enchanted Forest, before he was the Dark One, was a coward and didn't think of these kind of scheming ways. So I guess when he got his second start at life, I thought that was more in line with his character, not thinking about all the power and darkness like his character did tonight. Did anyone else? Did I explain that right?
No.
Like,
I know what you're saying. Like that also seemed like a little bit of a hole in his characters. Like he's again, his character arc, he was the coward. Without the darkness, he's a coward. He kind of worked his way up to be a hero. Now he's a good dude. Yeah, I know. I want to give him a shout out because that's awesome. And then all of a sudden he's still scheming. We find out. Like, yes, it seems very out of character of who he is without the darkness.
Anytime I don't understand the logic, I'm like, wait, what is Rumple doing? I remember his history and his past, and I think this is very typical of him. He's always wanted the power. He's always wanted to be.
But Rumpelstiltskin. But when he was just. When it was him and his son Neil, he was a coward and afraid of everything.
Yeah.
So I didn't really see him as the kind of person who would be scheming to get power and darkness.
Once
And
he
like
knows
all
what he
these
can
layers
have,
of
though,
a plan
he knows,
too.
He knows it's there now, and he's tasted it.
And I think he still has. I think once a dark one, always kind of like.
I think I think that's just the overwhelming cowardness within him, because he is now at a position in his life where he's in a good place with Belle, he's in a good place with the townspeople at Storybrooke. Why go back and make the stupid choice of being the Dark One again?
I don't know.
It's coward.
Can I give you guys? I want to give a shout out to Stephen Shawin. He says, when Emma heard the dagger calling, I think the dagger was calling its true master. Rumple became the Dark One again, but Emma never actually died to release the complete darkness inside her. I think that's very kind of interesting of what, like, maybe her now connection to Rumple beyond just the fact that she was once the Dark One. I think she could still very clearly be linked to him.
Interesting.
And
What?
Sorry, I just thought of Harry Potter, and it's like a little piece. Of his soul is connecting Emma to the Dark One.
I don't know.
So we need a Horcrux.
Voldemort.
I mean, not Dementors.
Yeah, Emma is now a Horcrux.
Death Eaters.
Guys.
Yeah.
and Excalibur is also a Horcrux.
And Emma's got, Belle has a Horcrux. The baby, the half Dark One baby is a Horcrux. You get to kill all the pieces of Rumple now to destroy the darkness.
That's great. What were you gonna say?
Sorry.
I know.
I totally feel you.
I lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so then we have to talk about the last line of this episode, where Emma is standing in the water, still in her Dark One voice, that raspiness that we've been getting for her this season. I will find you. I will always find you.
But she says hook.
This line irked me so much.
Say it to me
because
sexy, like.
This is Mary Margaret's and David's line. That is their relationship.
And their heart.
And their heart. And the heart. Let Emma and Hook be their own thing. Let that line that's so more recognizable with Mary Margaret and David, let them be that relationship. Let's separate them and actually have like two different things we can distinguish.
I see a lot of people in the chat roll have been upset about this being passed along too. I actually didn't mind it.
Oh.
I thought it was a great reference. I thought it was kind of a little cheesy to end the episode that way, but I like it kind of the tradition being passed down to, it's kind of, like, oh, here's a scarf that's been passed down from family member to family member. Now this is a saying, and she is going there to give Hook part of her heart to bring him back to life. I wasn't mad.
I hear you, T. But it's like last week when we couldn't think of a new name for an operation, so we called it Operation Mongoose 2. I just feel
Cobra
like
2.
Operation Cobra 2. I just feel like this is a little bit of lazy writing here, because what is typical? I will find you. I'll always find you. Ooh, we used that. You know what? We already used that. We'll just say she took it from her parents.
And we split the heart.
We've
already done that too.
I want them to find new ways, new love, different kind of love. I love Hook and Emma together. They're not the same as Charming and Mary Margaret.
They're not, but I can agree with the heart part, but I think that her kind of giving that homage with her parents with the I will find you thing, I liked it, and I don't think it's lazy at all.
You don't
I think
have to
it was
apologize about it.
I thought it was very sweet. The hopeless romantic in me was like, oh my gosh, like the love that her parents have. This is her saying that's the same kind of love I have for Hook.
Time out. Where is the baby right now?
No,
Where's
the
baby
fairies.
Neil? The fairies have baby Neil.
Baby Neil was left at Granny's when Nimue took them away.
Okay.
But they did say, oh my god, our baby's at the diner, and Robin had said the fairies will get him because they're taking Nolan and the daughter that's not named.
That's not named.
Nicholas Kelly in the chat says Operation Shadow Swan.
Shadow Swan.
There we go.
Yeah, so I mean,
yes, I agree. Big G Titan Avatar, get your own
Tagline, Emma.
Exactly, that's exactly what I'm saying.
I mean, I saw some people in there who agreed with my stance on it too, so I will just shout them out too. You guys are awesome.
I do love though that Emma is deciding to go get Hook. She's like, I'm not letting go. So no matter how she said it, I think that it's pretty badass, pretty awesome that she's like, that's my man, I'm gonna go get him. You go, Emma. And I guess we're bringing the team along.
But can we stop being mad at her?
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys.
No, I love the fact that she turned back to normal looking Emma.
Yeah.
She's good.
Oh my
And-
God, Blake would be so happy that she doesn't have that hairspray in her.
I know. And, for anyone who's listening on iTunes stuff, go check out YouTube. I purposely wore white and black because I knew Emma was, in between white and black. I was like, representing Emma. There you go.
Roxy and I are just in black.
You guys are just
I
crazy.
wore purple because I like Regina and I'm royal.
I love Regina.
Okay.
I wore black like the color of my soul and heart.
And
I was
Rumple.
like, this was an Emma heavy episode.
That got dark real fast. Let's get into some predictions for March 6th, 2016.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
How
So far
freaking
away.
excited were you to go into the underworld to see what the underworld looked like? Why are we staying in Storybrooke? I never would have predicted that. What's up? What ABC? Did you cut our budget?
Like, yo, you're Disney, you're ABC. Really, we have to make the underworld literally Storybrooke just kind of messed up? Come on, guys.
I want to see it. I want to see like the blue, dark, fiery pits of Yeah.
I want to see a river.
she
I want to
said.
see 5 rivers. I want to see dead spirits in the water. I want all of that. Why go back to Storybrooke?
Guys, because then they'd have to build a set that they're
No.
only going to use for 12 episodes.
It's
We
called
can do that for
CGI.
Neverland.
It's called CGI.
Or maybe they're not even going to use it for the whole 5B. Maybe it's not going to be the whole
On a
season.
positive note,
A
though,
nightmare in Storybrooke. No, I do not believe that for 1 second.
I am really excited to see Pan and Regina's mom and everybody
Yeah.
come back
Yes.
that we were missing, and this actually makes sense for why you're bringing back characters. You know how sometimes they're like, "Oh, we brought you back with this curse."
Oh,
no,
like
we're going to the
Zelena?
underworld, yeah. So this makes a lot of sense. So it's cool because we get to see all of it. Everybody wants Lily and Maleficent.
I'm so happy for Peter Pan.
Me too.
Like,
Yes!
Robbie K.
He's the
yes,
best!
I am so excited
They
to see
stole
that
him from
character come
Heroes.
Yeah,
back.
I was gonna say, how are we
Yeah.
pulling them over
Yeah.
though?
Well, Heroes is
Heroes
done,
is done.
so-
It was a miniseries that they
and
filmed
it's done.
most of it in the summer
Oh, well.
and
Few
Yes,
episodes.
early
Pan.
fall. And it was in Canada, so
I think
they
I
were
think
close
it
by.
makes sense. As much as I want Underworld, it makes sense to still put it in the Storybrooke realm in that life because we know all these villains are in human form. So to put them back into a location we're already familiar with, I get it for practical reasons.
I get it. I'm not happy about it.
Rose-
That's all I gotta say.
Rosalba
I'm pissed. No,
in
I'm
the
really
chat
pissed.
says we're seeing both. How are we seeing both?
We best see
well,
both.
I'm imagining that we're still gonna be seeing the people who were left behind
Well, Belle's
in,
pregnant, so.
in Storybrooke.
No, I thought they meant both places, like the actual underworld. We would see both.
Oh,
We better go to Underworld. That's all I'm saying.
who knows?
They're on a freaking ferry boat. We better go to actual. Why go on a ferry just to go back to Storybrooke? I mean, come on.
Because
A lot of predictions in the chat are about Pan being back. Pan never fails. Pan redemption on his son, seeking vengeance.
I would love that. So, yeah, I think we're just all excited to see what happens next.
I can't see who's cast as Hades. Can't wait.
Gregory.
Yeah. So
Gregory,
in the
distinguished
meantime,
gentleman.
it's been a fun 5A season, and sadly tonight was the winter finale, and we won't be back all together again until March 6th, 2016. That's so far away right
Happy
now.
holidays and Happy New Year!
Yes, happy holidays,
And
happy
also
New Year.
Valentine's Day and the other things
My
that take
birthday!
place.
My birthday!
My birthday too. In the meantime, please continue to tweet us. Go on YouTube, leave us a comment there. Go on iTunes, leave us comments there. Like us, heart us, follow us on all social media platforms. We love, love, love talking to you guys, and I don't want to stop talking about this show. So
Yes.
where can they find you guys on social media?
Thank you everyone who's been listening so far this season all over the world. You guys are awesome. You can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV.
You guys can find me everywhere at Roxy Stryer, and don't forget to find Blake McIver at Blake McIver. He's so sad he can't be here tonight, but he'll be joining us back in March.
You guys can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Keetin Marchi, and I have so many cute pictures of little Ella Bear, so thanks for dealing with her in the after show tonight, you guys.
And make sure you check out everything that we have here at AfterBuzz TV. We do so many shows every week for you guys, so check us out online at AfterBuzzTV.com, on YouTube, AfterBuzz TV, all the stuff AfterBuzz TV. And you can find me at the Tiona Hobson on Twitter and Instagram, and I see a lot of people in the chat talking about Gallivant. Can't wait to watch that either. And until next spring, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.